Welcome back to the More Sports Please podcast. As you can see, we're joined by one more person. We're back with our normal co-host today.
Yes, sir.
Hello, hello.
Off
Good to be
back
back.
in the house.
Yeah, sorry I had to miss the last couple. Had some things going on. So sad. So sad.
We're going to try to keep it low on time today, as our past two podcasts have almost been 2 hours talking specifically about college football. So let's go ahead and jump into it and waste no time and jump into the top 25 AP poll of the college football college football rankings.
I should pull that up, shouldn't I?
Yes.
Top 256, please. Okay, good
All
one.
right, starting at 256, we've got. So we're just gonna run through them, and then we'll talk about some of them. We won't talk about all of them, but we'll kind of run through them. Number one, no surprise, is Texas. Number two, Oregon. 3, Penn State. 4, Ohio State. 5, Georgia. 6 is Miami. 7 is Alabama. 8 is LSU. 9 is Iowa State. 10 is Clemson. 11 is Tennessee. 12 is Notre Dame. 13 is BYU. 14, Texas A&M. 15 is Ashton Genty, 16 is Indiana, 17 is Kansas State, 18 is Ole Miss, 19 Missouri, 20 is Pitt, 21 SMU, 22 Illinois, 23 is Army, 24 is running back, and 25 is Navy.
Damn, just listed off the entire thing right there.
For anybody wondering, I said 24 is running back. That's Michigan, and Ashton Genty is obviously Boise State.
All right.
I was gonna say, are we gonna address the elephant in the room on the rankings with the big game that happened?
Yeah.
Alrighty, the big game. So obviously, we knew Colorado wasn't gonna be in the top 25 after they lost to Kansas State.
Wait, what? What are you talking
Kidding. So Oregon upsets, I guess technically upset Ohio State. So Ohio State drops 2 rankings to number 4. Still in the top 4. If it was old playoff format, they would still be in. I believe they're still in with new playoff format. But they only dropped 2 rankings, and Oregon and Penn State jumped them. Thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, that was a crazy game between Oregon and Ohio State. What a choke job by Ohio State at the end of that game. Yeah, Ryan Day is terrible, and I hope he's the Ohio State coach for many years to come. He cannot win in big games. I mean, they got what? They needed a field goal to win. They got into field goal range, and then they passed 3 times in a row. One of them being offensive pass interference that took them out of field goal range, and then your starting quarterback slides with 0 seconds left on the clock. I mean,
that was the craziest part to me.
They had the game in their hands to win, and they just kind of threw it away.
It's kind of a bonehead decision. I mean, don't get me wrong. Masterclass on Danny. I forget his name.
Dan Lanning.
Dan Lanning. Yeah, I combined it both as first and last. Masterclass by Dan Lanning on just knowing the rules and shoving a 12th player out there to waste time. Like, absolute masterclass there. You can't. I know they're going to end up going back and looking at the rule and reevaluating it and probably making it to how the NFL's is, because the NFL's got that fixed. You can't do that in the NFL.
Oh, they already changed it. They already changed it today.
They changed it today. Done. Okay, so I must have missed it. I knew they were looking into it, but
I was confused watching the game. I was like, why is the time not getting put back on the clock? And then, I didn't know. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Apparently, Will Howard didn't know that was a thing either.
Well,
he had a few seconds left.
When you're Will Howard and you play for Kansas State for so many years and then go to a big program, right? He came from K-State.
Yeah. I do want to say I did see a stat today that I thought was kind of interesting. Shout out to the SBE college football page. They posted it. This is the first time the AP top 3 did not have Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, Ohio State, or Michigan since 2014.
Wow.
Dang.
With it being Texas, Oregon, Penn State. It's the first time in 10 years since that had happened. Last time that happened, was November 2014, and your top 3 was Mississippi State, Florida State, Oregon.
Mississippi. Dak Prescott's Mississippi State.
The FSU.
Yep.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
How things
Which-
change.
That
But
is
also-
Absolutely wild
insane.
stuff.
All the credit in the world to Oregon. Dylan Gabriel looked great out
Yeah,
there.
absolutely. Oregon's offense. They at Oregon. I mean, I honestly thought their kicking team was going to cost them the game with those missed field goals at the beginning, but Oregon's offense looked as good as advertised. I mean, they were. I was listening to something that explained the offense or the Ohio State defense very well. Ohio State's. It's not like they played a bad game. It's just they would play very, very great defense for 8 plays or for 7 plays, and on the 8th play let up a huge drive or like a huge pass, huge play.
I forget his name. Who's number 10 on Ohio State on the defense?
Denzel
yeah.
Burke.
Oh, dude. I was surrounded by a bunch of Ohio State fans during that game. Bro, he was getting cooked.
You know
to
he's projected to
oblivion.
go in the first round.
I heard that. Apparently, he had a great year last year.
Yeah, he
I
was
didn't
really
see him,
solid the
but
year before.
according to Ohio State fans, he has a great years on odd number years, and then the even number years are where you don't look too hot. Because every
So next year
single
he's going to
time,
be Sauce Gardner. Got it.
Heisman probably.
The
Yeah.
NFL.
But no, just every time there was a big offensive play by Oregon, you'd look up and see 10 with blown coverage or a missed tackle.
Yep.
I was like, Jesus.
I was
Christ,
gonna
man.
say I know a lot of them happened on Denzel Burke, which I like Denzel Burke as I don't like him now, obviously, since he's at Ohio State. But I think once he graduates, I'll be able to find love for him as a corner. But man, he's not lived up to the hype, like you said, on the odd and even year thing. But he doesn't look like a first round prospect.
Oh, absolutely not.
And I mean, we can come back to this. I want to make a side comment about a first round prospect corner out of Notre Dame. He just suffered a season ending injury.
I saw that.
I forget his name. But he's like Benjamin Morrison. He's honestly probably top 10 players in the draft. Third corner, I think, in my opinion. Maybe not top 10, maybe more top 15. But definitely third best corner in the draft behind Will Johnson and Travis Hunter. But he suffered a season-ending injury, which absolutely devastates me, man, because he could have absolutely helped his stock with how bad Michigan is playing and how Will Johnson, I mean, he doesn't get targeted, and with Travis Hunter getting hurt, this was Benjamin's time to step up and prove that he was the CB1, but unfortunately he won't get that opportunity.
Yeah.
What year is he, if you don't mind me asking?
I think I just closed out the tab on him. I want
I
to say
mind
he's a
you.
junior.
I mind you asking.
But he could be a senior.
But if he's a junior, probably that junior that would declare for the draft, since he'd probably be first round talent.
Yeah, but he's a junior.
Gotcha.
Yeah, honestly, I could see him staying now that he's suffered a season-ending injury, but before that, he was almost a lock to go top 20.
Gotcha. I mean, we'll see. I think it might depend on, I don't know, it might kind of depend on how the rest of the board starts to look as you get closer to draft season, what his timetable looks like, because sometimes players will still just,
Yeah, players
they'll use that stock that they developed.
Right, so they
over
still
time.
raise and lower and everything. Like Mason Graham, honestly, hasn't been having the best season, but so he's probably sliding a little bit. But Kenneth Grant, on the other hand, he's risen up my board personally. I think he was borderline second round, late first, early second, maybe mid second, but I think he's got his way up there into mid first, late first.
We'll see. I don't start looking at the draft stuff until like NFL offseason.
Oh man, I've been on it, dude. It's and if I'm not listening to NFL Stock Exchange, I'm listening to fucking Joel Klatt.
More sports, please.
Yeah, more sports, please.
There you go.
Hell yeah,
That's
there
what
you
we're
go.
looking into.
But we'll go through here. In my opinion, we'll go back to Ohio State, Oregon. I think Ohio State should have dropped more.
I don't know,
I don't
man. They
necessarily
lost by 1
think that-
point. It was
Yes.
also to like the at the time 3rd ranked team in the country, and it was a conference.
Yes,
game.
you're looking at a true road game, hostile environment, over halfway across the country, no less, against a top 3 team in the nation. I mean, that was a close game that I think it's just kind of a credit to both teams for how good they are. I mean, you kind of have to punish Ohio State for losing that. But I mean, the way the rest of the top 25, I mean, I got to double check this. Don't mind me during this podcast, by the way. I'm an extremely casual, barely ball watcher. I don't know ball anymore, apparently. Just not been paying attention
Ballin'.
lately. Ball, I mean, I guess I know they're right ahead of Georgia.
Yeah, I was about to make
Bama. That one was close.
I was about to make the argument that I think that they are worse than I was going to make the argument that I trust Georgia over Ohio State, but the problem with that is Georgia couldn't beat Alabama, who's got a struggling, terrible defense, and Alabama lost to Vanderbilt. So the Georgia losing to Alabama looks worse now than it did when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't trust
That's fair.
Miami. I don't think Miami's better than Ohio State. The only team I really truly believe that I could put above Ohio State and have Ohio State at 5 is LSU.
LSU lost game 1.
Game
That
1
USC
against
loss is
USC.
looking less good
Yeah.
as the season's gone on.
Mhm.
I mean, USC has what, 2, 3 losses now?
Just lost to Penn State. They lost to Michigan, and then I don't know who else they lost to.
But I
I
think,
don't remember.
in my opinion, this USC team is a lot better than their unranked shows. They're a ranked ball club, but they're like 4 or 5 snaps away from being like 6-0. They're a
I mean,
really
you could also
good team.
And you almost doesn't count. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
They're just. I think the LSU's loss to USC is a better loss than Georgia to Alabama. With Vanderbilt coming
I
in
strongly disagree with
and
that.
spanking Vanderbilt, or with Vanderbilt coming in and beating Bama, I think they do play. They play Week 11. Alabama and LSU, I don't think Alabama's going to win that game. Because Alabama's defense isn't going to be able to stop LSU's offense.
I guess I can kind of see that. The way I think I'd look at it at the moment would be like, I would say Alabama's loss, or the loss to Alabama still doesn't look as bad to me as the loss to USC, but that can be, jury's still out depending on how they do head to head.
Well, the USC loss would be, it's the first game of the season, like Clemson's loss to Georgia. That Clemson team is a whole different Clemson team that was Week 1. They have finally got their stuff into rhythm. They're back in the rank. They're ranked 10. They're almost at Georgia. But I think, there's a lot of teams in here that I think if they played Georgia, they'd beat Georgia. I think LSU beats Georgia. I think Clemson beats Georgia. I obviously think Texas beats Georgia. I think Tennessee beats Georgia. There's a lot of SEC and ACC teams that I think, Clemson being the only ACC team, but I think these SEC teams can make Georgia look beatable. Alabama already proved it by beating them with a terrible defense.
But you could also make that not quite the same degree with it not being Week 1, but you could kind of make that argument with Georgia in the sense that, Georgia mostly was, I know that they blew the lead in the end, but they mostly got beat because they had a terrible first half. Like, you play one bad half of football and they got just way behind a great offense. They were able to come back because of that bad defense, but at that point you had zero room for error and they screwed up.
Yeah.
At the end.
I think the SEC I think is wide open.
I'd agree with you. I'd agree with you there.
It's Texas's to lose, in my opinion. Obviously, they're the number 1 ranked team, but
yeah, I think Texas is my. We went over this already, right? Like,
I think they're my national championship
Texas.
pick too.
They just on all cylinders with their first string or second string quarterback on.
Yeah, it don't matter. They could start Quinn Ewers the first half and put in Archie the second half, and they'll still win.
Sorry, I was dealt psychic damage again, remembering the fact that Texas is leading the SEC. It's so weird.
Psychic
Dude, this
damage.
college football
Quinn
season
Ewers.
has been I mean, it is something out of the strangers, the Twilight Zone.
The stranger zone.
This, I mean, it's insane.
Don't talk to him. Yeah,
Indiana being ranked 16th.
I mean,
come on.
Indiana's coming out guns blazing.
You have
That's insane. Both Army and Navy both being ranked.
Yes.
you could see Army Navy being a playoff game twice in November, December, because they could play a conference championship and then play each other in the Army Navy game. Indiana and Illinois could compete for the Big Ten. It's so weird.
Big Ten championship game between Oregon and Penn State is gonna be insane. I want to see that.
Penn State is worrying me.
It's Penn State.
Yeah. I mean, just watching them against USC, I caught the tail end of that game. And then, also earlier in the season, almost losing to Bowling Green. They're like...
You gotta live and die with what you get with Drew Aller, man.
Yeah.
He either comes out looking great or he doesn't come out at all. And in this case, he didn't come out this game. They still won, which, don't get me wrong, I am a Penn State hater, but this, I think, I know it wasn't a ranked win, like those top 10 ranked wins that they say their coach can't get, but this kind of felt like a turning of the tide. Like, this felt like one of those games that Penn State was going to come out, lead, and then lose at the end. Like they always do. Mm-hmm. They come out and they can't beat Ohio State. They can't beat Michigan. They come out and they play an opponent like USC in a hostile environment, and they come out victorious. This is not something that you would have asked me last year that I would have saw Penn State doing. I think this is a bit of showing that James Franklin can get the job done. But he's got to prove it against Ohio State in a couple weeks. But I think this is a good step in the right direction.
The schedule. If they can get it done against Ohio State, they should be able to cruise to a 12-0 record.
Which, by the way, I think
the rest of the schedule is not too bad.
I think it's at Penn State. I think Ohio State's on the road for that game.
It is. Yep, that's probably going to be the whiteout game.
Which will lead into the upcoming schedule. So we'll go ahead and talk about this week's schedule.
Wait, hold on. I had another take about the top 25.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Another take. Just, as a Michigan fan, Michigan ranked 24th. I don't think Michigan deserves to be in the top 25 at all. I feel like the AP poll, the people that fucking rank that shit, they're very like set in their ways, and they had Michigan being, as the reigning national champions, ranked so high, but I don't trust Michigan against Nebraska, Arizona State, Oklahoma, teams that aren't even in the top 25. I don't think they deserve to be in there, and that's coming from love.
Trust them more with Jack.
You know what?
Wait, what would you say?
I trust.
You know what, Gavin? I'll back. Good.
I trust them more with Jack Tuttle at quarterback. I think their offense is going to get better with Jack Tuttle stepping in and getting full first-team reps in practice, having the bye week, being able to actually get in there and get more than just your feet wet against Washington with a whole week of practice behind you with the first team, being able to get the rhythm going, get chemistry going. I think this offense will look better.
We can hope, but I mean, it's just like dart throw at quarterback at this point. That's what Michigan has come to. You're just trying everything, seeing what sticks, and that sucks because we have a lot of talent.
Yeah.
But as of right now, Michigan is
slide Michigan out of the top 25. Put Navy at 24 and Vandy at 25.
Vandy, I might put Nebraska or Arizona State above Vandy, but it's still same sentiment. Yeah.
Boo.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased. I trust Michigan's defense against every single one of these offenses.
I'm biased
Vanderbilt,
in the way I don't
Nebraska,
trust them
Arizona
against.
State. Oklahoma's not a good football team. Washington, Iowa,
I would say Oklahoma's are pretty good.
they're down in the dumps at the moment. Honestly, I trust Michigan's defense against in the Illinois' offense this weekend.
Yeah, this will be a telling. This will see if my take is good or bad. This coming week against Illinois, because I don't see them winning that game. Spoiler alert! It's gonna be my pick.
What's the spread on that game? Do we know?
25. Kidding, I have 9.
I think Michigan. Let's see. Michigan's a 3.5-point favorite.
Close.
And where's the game at?
Illinois.
Michigan is just pissing me off.
So let's go ahead and jump into. Let's go ahead and jump into the weeks. Well, we'll do a recap of Week 7 schedule. Do we need what other games do you guys want to talk about in Week 7 aside from what we did with Ohio State and Oregon? Do you want to talk about the Red River rivalry?
Let's see.
I mean, Texas destroyed Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So
Trying
there's
to
not
see
much
what
to
we got
take from
here.
that, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of the.
We already
expected.
pretty much talked about. What about Mississippi State putting up 31 points on Georgia, huh?
Yeah.
Kind of stupid. Kansas State being Colorado. Ashton Genty going crazy again. No one can stop him.
Yeah, he's pretty unstoppable.
Mhm.
I do want to point out in this Red
Also-
River rivalry, Quinn Ewers did not look good in the first quarter, but that was expected. You know, coming back after an injury, shaking the rust off, but bouncing back to win 34-3, just shows you who the number 1 team in the country is.
Yeah. I would like to shout out from last week, the Miami of Ohio Redhawks for smashing some Eastern Michigan Eagle booty in some action. 38-14. Brett Gabbert 10 for 13, 222 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's kind of the Brett Gabbert I've been wanting to see. And then Reggie Virgil. How about this guy? I think that's how you pronounce his first name. 3 receptions, 113 yards and 2 touchdowns. I wasn't able to watch the game, but I mean that stat line is kind of crazy. 3 catches for 113 yards and 2 touchdowns. So you're just popping off at that
Damn
point.
good
But
average
yeah,
right there.
shout
Randy
out.
Moss number.
Shout out the Miami Redhawks for getting it done finally on some action.
Also, in that same turn, shout out the Bearcats for getting one back against the Central Florida Knights. I was very happy to see them get that done. I think the general story for Cincinnati this year in both football teams, and also this will be obviously discussed in the NFL, is all offense, no defense for Bearcats and Bengals. But both teams' defenses step up this week in ugly games when the offense can't quite get it going. Jake Golday, linebacker, got Big 12 newcomer. That was exciting to see Bearcat defense step up in a game not long after they gave up 44 to Texas Tech. So good to see them actually get into it a little bit.
I didn't realize how close Illinois beat Purdue. 50-49 in overtime.
That's crazy. That's
I was going through the ranked matchups of last week. There's not really much of them stick out, aside from Georgia barely beating Mississippi State and Alabama barely beating South Carolina. That's the problem with Alabama you have is if Alabama is going to beat teams they should beat if their offense can play well. And if their offense can't play well, their defense can't stop anybody, so they're going to be in shootouts against teams they can't beat if their offense doesn't play well. They're going to be in shootouts regardless against teams that are as good, if not better than them. Because their defense, nothing has proven to me that they're going to fix anything on that defense. Alabama has a garbage defense. and it's gonna come back to haunt them. Tennessee barely getting by in Florida. Jesus. Same.
I would like to
LSU
shout
beat Ole
out.
Miss.
I'd like to shout out our game of the week from 2 weeks ago. Mizzou and Texas A&M turned out to be a blowout. So
Yeah.
that was our game of the week. Surprise, everyone! By what I said, Mizzou is not a top 10 team, and they proved that. Very
Although they
handedly.
smacked
Very
UMass,
handedly.
or they smacked UMass this last
It's
week.
UMass.
UMass,
Yeah.
bro. The Minutemen.
All right, we'll go ahead and
That was-
move on to week 8 here in the college football dynasty.
College football dynasty. College football 25. Dynasty.
We're playing Dynasty, boys.
I'm gonna skip this Friday matchup and come back to it at the end because my pick.
Are you
So
gonna pick Purdue or something?
yeah, we'll go ahead and start actually with it. So Oregon goes to Purdue. It's an 8:00 game on Friday. Oregon is facing second-ranked. Purdue is facing second-ranked Oregon, and as history tends to tell me, the second-ranked team traveling to West Lafayette, playing at a night game in the Big Ten, has not bode well for that second-ranked team. I've got Purdue.
Yep.
You're crazy. No.
I'm taking Purdue over Oregon.
I got Purdue to cover the spread. I don't know what the spread is.
The spread is
Probably
27 and a
zillion.
half.
27 and a half, yeah. Yeah, give me Oregon by 28. Thank you. Purdue doesn't cover.
I take Purdue by 4.
Nah, I feel like that Purdue team was a little better than the one we're working with this year.
I don't
No,
know.
this
The Purdue
Purdue team is
took
actually
the,
terrible.
took the ranked Illinois team to its limit.
That's true. They're also 1-5.
I don't know,
Illinois and
man.
Oregon are a little different. We just talked about that.
History has showed me. Wow, they got smacked by Notre Dame 66-7.
They got smacked by Wisconsin 52-6.
History has shown me that no matter what, if you come into Purdue ranked at a night game, it is going to hurt.
Yeah, no, you could be right. You could be right. It could be the vibes.
This one is on a Friday. Could be different.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Maybe
the
only
other ones
Saturdays.
have been on Friday. Some of them have been on Fridays. I think one was on a Thursday.
No,
Oh,
that's
well, maybe I'm just dumb. That's very possible.
I could be wrong. I don't know. The other ranked game on Friday is Oklahoma State going to BYU. Give me
It'll be close.
BYU. I think it will be close. I think Oklahoma State covers because BYU is only favored by 9. I think BYU wins by 7.
Yeah. Give me BYU for that one too.
I don't know, man. I'm not buying this Cowboys team. I'll take BYU to cover.
BYU.
Saturday big noon kickoff. It looks like on NBC and ABC, on ESPN and ABC. It is Miami going to Louisville.
Well,
This
no.
could be the game that Miami drops.
I don't think so.
Give me the Cardinals.
No. Give me the Hurricane. I
Give
told
me-
you I wasn't a Cardinals believer 2 weeks ago when I picked SMU to beat them. I think they're not going to be able to keep up with Miami's offense.
Listen,
My take.
I think Miami's fraudulent.
fool me once, shame on me. When Miami beat Virginia Tech by a last second, Hail Mary, whatever it was, interception thing. Fool me twice, shame on you. Miami barely beat Cal. 3 times, man. 3 times. You're not going to strike gold 3 times. Give me Louisville beating Miami.
Maybe Cam Ward just got that.
I've seen
clutch
Miami do
factor
this
in him,
enough
huh?
times.
I've seen.
I
Yeah,
don't care.
I don't
That was
know
the refs
about.
that won that game against the Hokies.
I don't know much about seeing Miami do this a bunch of times, but I've seen Cam Ward do it. I've seen him look like an absolute masterclass, and then revert back to the old Cam Ward where he just struggles. Man, he's just. It depends on what Cam Ward shows up. If the Cam Ward that shows up early in the season shows up this game, Miami's got it handled. They'll win by 20. But if Cam Ward in the previous weeks that we've seen, where he comes in and he just does these Cam Ward of old plays where he tries to make plays last too long, he ends up screwing up. I think Louisville wins.
Well, I think we get the
I-
first
my-
Cam Ward. And I'm trusting Cam Ward this week, and that's why I'm picking the Hurricanes.
And I love Cam Ward. Cam Ward was my QB1 at one point. But
My reasoning is quite simple, and that is we always see this with Miami. They always look really good, and everyone says they're always back. And I know that they're in the top 10 right now. I know they're unbeaten right now. I don't care. They have come too close too many times. That game against Virginia Tech, I'm singling that out because I watched that game and I got mad at that game because I was rooting for the Hokies. The shoe's got to drop for the Canes at some point, in my opinion. And it going into Louisville, while they're coming off of a tough loss, give me the Cardinals.
Alrighty, next ranked game is at noon on the ACC network. Virginia goes to Clemson. Give me Clemson. I don't think it's going to be close. Give me them to cover.
Give me Clemson.
Yep.
Clemson's favored by
No,
21
great.
and a half.
I only see like one upset that I think is going to happen on this slate, but we'll get there when we get there.
12 o'clock Fox. Nebraska travels to Indiana. Dylan Raiola comes in. Sorry, Patrick Mahomes Jr. comes in to play Indiana. I think Indiana's, they're firing on all cylinders. I think they win this one pretty handily.
I think Nebraska is pretty good. I think they'll put up a fight, but I don't see Indiana losing this game.
I think I'm kind of in the same boat. Both of these teams are really solid right now. Either of them winning, I'm happy for both of these teams. I think they both have kind of needed how the season has gone. Nebraska kind of did the same thing. Like they seem to struggle in those one-score games. That's how their one loss was so far. This is looking like it could be a one-score game, and if that's the case, I'm going to take the Hoosiers.
There's a stat.
Until proven otherwise, I'm sticking with it.
There's a stat about something that Nebraska hasn't beaten a ranked opponent in a while.
And they won't this week.
Because the last ranked opponent they played was Illinois, and they lost. 25. Nebraska has 25 straight losses to ranked opponents.
They really do not have that dog in them.
That checks out.
2016. They had the second longest
I remember that.
streak of current Power 4 teams.
I just remember, and again, this was in 2016 when I was a diehard Buckeye fan. Ohio State was playing Nebraska, and it was like pretty hyped up because I think Ohio State was like in the top 10, and Nebraska was also ranked, so it was a night game, and Ohio State destroyed Nebraska. Nebraska has never been the same since then. Until now, maybe. They're looking good now, but that seemed to be the dawn of the bad Cornhuskers era.
Oh, Cornhuskers. Give me the Hoosiers.
Cornhuskers.
Give me the Hoosiers.
Yeah, give me the Hoosiers.
And the Hoosiers.
Yeah.
All right, we are on to the next ranked game. Auburn travels to Missouri.
Actually, this is my upset. Give me Auburn. Auburn has been keeping it close with some pretty good teams, right? And I hate Mizzou. I think they are the most fraudulent team in this top 25. You can tell me by the way I talked about them 2 weeks ago. I was like, Mizzou fans, soak it in now because it's about to all come tumbling down. Auburn it's kind of like what your guys' reasoning with Louisville, Miami. No, not Louisville, Miami, whatever it was. No, Miami was keeping it close.
Oh, it was Louisville, Miami.
Yeah, it was. Auburn has been keeping it close in a lot of games, but they've been on the losing side of it. I think that stops here in Mizzou against the Tigers.
Have they been keeping it close?
19. Yeah.
Auburn lost to Georgia 31-13.
Okay.
Lost to Oklahoma.
Georgia.
That's Georgia.
Lost
Oklahoma
to
by
Oklahoma by
6.
Lost to Arkansas by 10. Beat New Mexico. Lost to Cal by 7.
Cal by 7. That's close.
Okay.
They've been keeping it within one and a half score position.
Mizzou beat Vanderbilt.
Okay, so is Mizzou better than Alabama?
Yeah.
Okay.
Transitive property, baby.
Mizzou is better than Alabama, which means Texas A&M is better than everybody.
I just hate Mizzou's vibes, so I'm taking Auburn.
I am a long-term hater of Auburn vibes, so I'm gonna take Mizzou. I have no reason to hate Auburn.
I
Just
love some good Auburn vibes.
I've been a long-term hater of Mizzou and Auburn, so give me the under.
Give me the under 2 points scored total.
said no points.
No, I'm taking
Safety.
Missouri. Their huge bounce back last week. I think they'll be back on track.
Mm-mm. Get
Next
them out of
game
my
is
top 25
East
right
Carolina at Army at noon. Give me Army.
now. Army by 50 maybe. I don't know. What do we...
Army is favored by 16.
Give me
I think they cover.
East Carolina to cover.
Okay.
Yeah.
Always about the spread.
East Carolina is a plucky team, and I will say that from experience playing them all the time in the American. It wasn't fun playing East Carolina. If you're a good team and you're playing East Carolina, there's a good chance that they're going to give you a tough time. But
That's not true.
the better
Michigan
team
put
usually
30
ends up
on
winning.
last year.
Well, I'm saying like not an elite team.
We'll jump to
if you're in that 20s to teens range.
We'll jump to that next ranked game at 3:30. In my opinion, game of the week. Number 7,
Whoa.
Alabama.
We have to agree on that at the end.
Okay, sorry.
Which the game of the week is gonna be.
My vote for game of the week. Number 7, Alabama travels to number 11, Tennessee. These teams are both on the downfall. Alabama obviously having their defense struggling against South Carolina, and Tennessee still has not bounced back from dropping that game against Arkansas.
Yeah, I don't really trust Tennessee at this point. They're just. I mean, they beat Florida in overtime, and then they also dropped to Arkansas 2 weeks ago. Give me Alabama on this one. I don't think Tennessee's going to be able to keep up with that offense.
There's a reason I had this guy's name written on the back of my phone case to learn how to pronounce it. Give me Nico Iamaleava and the Tennessee Volunteers to beat Alabama.
I think the Volunteers will lose.
You remember the last time that Alabama traveled to the great state of Tennessee?
No.
Give me the balls.
Tennessee won. Rocky Top, Tennessee.
I'm just a country.
Home sweet home to me.
This is all gonna come back to bite you in the butt next week. I'm gonna go perfect in my predictions.
Rocky Top.
I was gonna say, if
Rocky
you're
Top,
agreeing with me, you're in trouble because I told you I'm a casual more. So.
But it's fun because it's the casual, and the person that's probably watched the most college football have the same picks.
I'm in the middle ground here, man. I watch it when I can, and I try to keep.
Man,
up
if I
with it.
have nothing going on Saturday, that's all I'm doing. I will have one game on. If Michigan plays, first off, the Michigan game, like when Georgia and Alabama played, I had the Michigan game on. Immediately after that, turned the Colorado game on. And immediately after that, put on the Georgia game.
Yeah, I mean that's what I would do if I had nothing going on. I will be completely out of the house this Saturday, so I'm gonna have to catch up on college football.
I will also be out of the house on Saturday, but it will be because I will be watching college football live, Cincinnati and Arizona State
in person.
Live at Newbert Stadium.
I will be working and then coming home and watching college football.
I'm going to the Renaissance Festival.
Next ranked game at 3:30 is number 12 Notre Dame traveling to Georgia Tech.
Ooh, I like this game actually. This is fun.
Pure hot Tech.
That's kind of a fun one.
What has Georgia Tech done since week 1? What have they done?
They've beaten Duke.
Well,
North
they're
Carolina.
5-2.
Their only losses are to a Kyle McCord Syracuse team and ranked Louisville at the time.
I'm going to take Notre Dame, but I think Georgia Tech will play tough. They're always fun to watch, in my opinion.
Notre Dame has been putting the smackdown on recently, so yeah, give me Notre Dame too.
What do you mean? It was Stanford.
Yeah, and
They
Miami of
beat
Ohio.
them by 40.
It's not true. They beat them by 42.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Exactly.
I want to know, like, this disappoints me too, because Elik Aomanor, however you pronounce his last name, was also supposed to be a top, round one, round two receiver, but man, he's not done that much this year. Against Notre Dame, 3 catches, 16 yards. Against Virginia Tech, 3 catches, 33 yards. Clemson, 4 catches, 50 yards. Syracuse, 7 catches for 87 yards. But, I mean, it's like, I get he's at Stanford and he doesn't really have the best talent around him, but this guy could be a real star. But
I haven't watched any Notre Dame football
I
this year.
don't
I
believe
cannot
you.
weigh in on this.
he's one of my favorite prospects. He's probably, honestly, he was going into the season my wide receiver 1, but he has dropped significantly.
Couldn't tell you.
Travis Hunter's my everything
Maybe this
one.
is the breakout game.
Everything one. No, he's gonna declare as a DB. We all know that. Come on.
More than likely. It'd be better for him. I mean, if he wants money, he declares a wide receiver. But I think if he wants to stand out, he'll declare as a DB. He's a better DB than he is a receiver, and it'll help him more on the defensive side because he knows how to run those routes. It'll be more helpful to his game and to his knowledge to stay a DB.
I agree. I think we talked about that last pod too.
I think you're right. Jump to the next ranked game on CBS and Paramount Plus. Michigan travels to Illinois. Give me Michigan, man. I can't quit them.
Give me the Wolverines, baby. I lied.
I can't quit Michigan, man.
Wolverines by 50.
I was about to say the same thing. Jack Tuttle comes out and throws 5 touchdown passes. Give me Michigan by 50.
No, I think they're going to lose, but I am going to predict them to win.
I think Michigan goes up. I think in this game Michigan goes up big. Let's say 24-0 going into the second half.
Yeah.
And I think this game ends close to 24-21.
Mhm. I agree.
I think this, to me, with it being 2 ranked teams that are pretty close together in terms of record and rank, this to me is game of the week light. And last time I took the home team that's wearing orange, and I'm gonna stick with that here. I'm drinking the Illinois Kool-Aid.
Illinois Kool-Aid.
Sorry, I pounded my fist. I pounded my fist because I got on Twitter for a second to see that the Penguins have tied it up. It's now 3-3.
This is a football-only podcast now, Herbert.
Go Knights, go Knights, go Knights.
More football, please.
More football, please.
We'll jump to the next ranked game. Well, it probably won't stay on this long. It is Charlotte going to Navy, 3:30 on CBS.
Navy. 50.
Navy. Give me Navy
Give me
to
the
cover. They're favored by 17.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I think. Oh, never mind. There's a couple more ranked. Oh wow.
Yeah. My game of the week is gonna be.
I forgot. Yeah, that's my pick for game of the week. I have changed it. I forgot that game.
I have also changed my mind. I didn't know that
Gavin,
game was
where'd
this
your camera
week.
go?
Don't worry about it. I'm still here. I'll be back in 1 second.
Okay.
I'm still here. I'm audio.
Have fun.
So we'll touch on these quick games. 14 Texas goes to Mississippi State. I think Texas wins. I don't think they cover. I think Texas. Well, no, man. I know Mississippi State's bad, but the past times we've called them bad, they have come out and put up points.
That's their line is you have to at least score some points,
Yeah.
instead of getting blown out by 70 every game.
Give me Texas A&M. I think they cover. They're favored by 15.5.
Yeah, Texas A&M, give me that.
Yeah,
I honestly like
A&M.
Texas A&M to represent the SEC. To be honest, I not represent the SEC, but go to the SEC championship game. They're currently ranked. They're currently first in the SEC. There's a chance
I
that
will not buy in on them.
There's a chance that Texas A&M and Texas play back-to-back weeks.
Texas A&M.
Next ranked game.
Texas A&M.
After that is number 8 LSU going to Arkansas. This will show if LSU is a real contender.
Yep. I agree.
If LSU can go into the hostile environment in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and beat Arkansas, I like them better than Ohio State.
I really like Arkansas, but I like LSU better. Give me LSU.
Yeah, give me LSU.
Did you guys know this
Nope.
game has a rivalry trophy?
Huh?
What is it? Battle of
The Golden Boot.
Fayetteville.
the Golden Boot.
Yeah, because Louisiana and Arkansas look like a boot. And this is at Arkansas rivalry game. You know what? Call it upset of the week. I'll take Arkansas.
Okay. Gotta keep
Vibes based only. I have no reason to believe that except for vibes.
That's what most
Arkansas-
of my picks are. I don't care about stats or anything. Give me vibes.
Arkansas looks like a boot.
Louisiana
Arkansas
mainly looks
and
like a boot.
plus or Louisiana together, like it looks like a boot because they're
Arkansas and hold on, I didn't know this.
You know your
Arkansas, Louisiana.
freaking geography, Herbert.
Oh
Come
yeah,
on.
they do look like a boot. They look like
It's
they're kicking
Mimel, dude. You gotta
Mississippi.
remember Mimel.
I was trying to think about that freaking acronym the other day. I was like, it's the dude with the hat and
They look like they're
I was trying
kicking
to explain it to
Mississippi.
Sarah. Mimel, that's what it was. Yeah, because I knew Minnesota was the top and
Mimel.
Louisiana was the bottom.
Mimel.
Mimel. Crazy.
Harrison Waltz were at Pittsburgh today. Oh, so that was Tuesday.
Oh, we turning into political podcast?
No, I just got on Twitter to
Diving
see
into-
Trump is going to be at the game Sunday.
I saw that between the Steelers game, right? Or
Yeah.
is that the yeah.
Which we'll get to that later. That means me and Trump will be in the same building.
No comment.
No comment. So I guess this one's probably game of the week. Georgia at Texas at 7:30.
Yeah.
Kind of forgot
good
they were
old
playing
Tex.
this week. Texas
did
is
too.
only favored by 3.5. Man, I tell you what, if Georgia comes out and beats Texas, this is gonna throw everything for a whack. There's let me tell you this. Dream scenario. Georgia beats Texas, Purdue beats Oregon, we get number 1 ranked Penn State.
Numero uno. I could see it. You know, this is my game of the week in terms of it is 2 top 5 teams going against each other. But I'm not picking against Texas until they show me that they can lose. So I'm taking Texas.
I'm gonna say the same. I have no reason to pick against them until someone can knock them off.
I agree. Give me Alabama. Give me Texas.
Give me Iguodala.
2 more ranked games we'll touch on. UCF goes to Iowa State. Give me Iowa State.
Yeah, Iowa State.
Oh, sorry, there's 3 more.
UCF is falling apart, so I will also take Iowa State.
Kansas State goes to
Shout out as a
Virginia.
hater.
Give me Kansas State. Give me K-State.
I've been a K-State truther and I've been a Washington State truther. So one of those got to be right.
And the
Go
last
K-State.
ranked game. Oh,
I
sorry,
like
Jacob
K-State.
didn't pick.
I was gonna take K-State as well.
And the last ranked
controversy.
game of the week is SMU going to Stanford.
I've also been
A classic AC.
SMU for sure. I've also been an SMU truther. I'm truthing a lot of teams and I'm what's falsing a lot of teams based on
I'm truthing
vibes.
a lot of teams and
I
falsing a
love
lot of teams.
SMU. I love Auburn, and I love K-State and Washington State. I hate Mizzou. That's pretty much it. Purely going on vibes.
And that's college
Give
football.
me
slate.
the Mustangs.
I agree. Give me SMU. So, we'll go ahead and change gears.
Wait, whoa.
We won't change gears.
Okay, so we got to get a game of the week going. Is it going to be Georgia Texas? Is that unanimous
I
between all
think
of us?
so, yeah.
Georgia Texas. Okay, I agree with that. And then I also got to shout out Miami, Ohio, versus Ohio University. Maction. I didn't know this until today. The 100th Battle of the Bricks. The 100th matchup between Miami of Ohio and Ohio University. So give me
That's actually really cool.
the Red Hawks winning the 100th Battle of the Bricks. I wish I could be there, but I will not be. But I'll be rooting from afar. Give me the Red
Rooting
Hawks.
from afar.
This
I do
is
wanna...
the first. I was just going to say shout out to the Bearcats' first conference matchup against Arizona State. I will be in attendance for that game. You know what? I'm going to take I'm just a truther, so I'm going to take my old Bearcats anyway. But they are looking better than I thought. They lost a close game to Texas Tech on the road and a choke game against Pitt, and both those teams look really good. So I think it's going to be a good game, and I'll take the Bearcats as a Bearcat truther. Shout out to UC.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, no wonder why we're brought the game back 3-3. They pulled Jari.
Oh, you're talking about hockey.
Ooh, that's
bang,
a tough sight.
Bang.
God, I hate Jari. Anyways, I do want to, before we switch gears, take a moment of silence for the passing of Liam out of One Direction, of Liam Payne falling off a balcony somehow. There hasn't been much news about it. Literally happened a couple hours ago. They don't know if there was any foul play involved, but I would like to take a moment of silence for that. Thank you. So we'll go ahead and jump into gears into the NFL Week 6 recap. We'll go ahead. Okay, there we go.
Do we have to?
We can just touch on our teams.
No, it's okay. That was a joke.
San Francisco beat Seattle in a Thursday night classic. And that was about it.
Yeah. Jags look terrible.
Yep.
Yes.
I've been a Trevor Lawrence truther. I can only take you so far. Doug Peterson looks like the way he coached back in Philadelphia during the end of his tenure, and I feel so bad for Jags fans because you will not have anything going right for you. That's as you've been able to see.
That's tough.
Yeah.
It's especially bad when you lose by 20 at your home away from home.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Shit.
Across the pond, eh?
Across the pond. I'm pretty sure they stay there. They're there another week. They play New England, I think
so.
This weekend.
Damn.
Yep.
Man, they just been giving across the pond terrible games.
Also, this occurred to me a little bit ago. This season, it kind of feels like a return to the status quo for the way this podcast kind of works. Where, no offense to Gavin, to your Eagles, but they seem like a playoff contender, but all over the place, kind of flawed, and you don't know what to expect of them. Herbert, your Steelers are going to be coached by Mike Tomlin to their voodoo magic to make it to the playoffs again. And my Bengals are back to being the doormat. And you can see I'm perfectly excited about that.
You got a nice high life going out here.
At least you're not the doormat. You're just more of the door.
Oh, yeah. We're back to being third in the AFC North ahead of the
I was going to say,
Browns.
Cleveland's kind of the doormat. You're more of the door, and us in Baltimore are inside chilling.
Back to looking like we're going to win 7 games, and it's all good in Cincinnati. It's so fun.
Off of Mecker, you don't have to say no offense about the Eagles being, all over the place either. Because last podcast episode, I think I talked about them for 20 minutes after the Buccaneers lost.
Yeah, it was a while.
It
was kind of our opportunity to get off our chests. We both ranted for quite a bit about our teams.
Mm.
And then what happened? The Eagles had a bye week, and Pittsburgh came out to lose to Dallas. So it didn't help.
We won a game in extremely ugly fashion against the New York Giants. And now we're going to have a, spoiler alert, a stoppable force meeting a movable object when we go to Cleveland this week.
Oh, no.
It's going to be
that's bad.
Absolutely terrible football.
That's bad TV.
Oh, my God. You know what's worse is Burrow struggles against Cleveland. Cleveland might win this game.
Honestly, benching Deshaun, so.
Oh no, yeah, I guess you got to. They did also just trade Amari Cooper, so he's their safety. Royd McLeod or McLennan or however you pronounce his name.
Rodney McLeod
is leading the team in scoring.
I saw that.
Yes.
Dude. Shout out Rodney McLeod, former Philadelphia Eagle. That dude.
Fucking insane.
Defensive touchdowns, baby. Let's go.
right.
Well, I'll stop on the Pittsburgh game real quick, and then we'll hop to Philly and Cincinnati. Pittsburgh came out and handled business. Man, 32 points. I get it was against Vegas, but 32 points. Man, I can't tell you the last time we put up 30 points. That was.
So
Defense looked good. Offense looked better. Nah. But we're able to get drives going and put points on the board and create turnovers.
I want to know your opinion on putting up an offensive performance like that and then benching Justin Fields for Russell Wilson.
I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Because Fields, he's not playing, the greatest. He's not being the best quarterback in the league, but he's got the numbers to compete with the best. He has done what he's supposed to do, and that's take care of the ball and win football games and be that perfect game manager. You put Russell Wilson in there. Not only are you now handicapping the offense because you don't have Fields' legs, you have a better accuracy, but you don't have Fields' legs. You don't have Fields' ability to scramble and get anywhere in the pocket and get a ball thrown. You don't have, Russ might have better decision making than Fields, but the problem is Russ has to be able to create and move out of the pocket to make the decision. He's not going to have enough time in the pocket to make that decision other than look at his first read and throw. The offensive line will not give him enough time, especially with all these injuries on the offensive line, enough time to be able to go from one receiver to the other. Fields has that time because he's able to get out with his legs and be able to run for first downs. Fields has been the offensive MVP of this offense because he can make plays with his legs. And if you take that out of the Pittsburgh offense, we will not be able to move the football.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen Russell Wilson play football too. It's been a second. This is going to be his first start of the year, the first start in this Pittsburgh system. Two very different quarterbacks as well. I just don't really get the offensive thinking behind that. I think you'd have two very different game plans for those two different types of quarterbacks.
I don't get it either, man.
Odd. It's an odd decision.
Now, I will say they haven't come out and said that Wilson's the starter. They came out and said he'll be getting first team reps. So there's no confirmed
I must have misread something then. I thought it was confirmed already. Okay,
no, the media outlets have been taking it and being like, oh, he gets first team reps, he's going to start. Tomlin hasn't announced a starter yet, but things are kind of looking that way.
Okay. So all hope is not lost yet.
Yeah, no, all hope is not lost, but if he looks better than Fields in any way, shape, or form, whether it's with his arms or his legs, I think he gets to start.
We'll see.
If we had more than one pass catcher, I would love to put Wilson in there because Wilson's accuracy and decision making is better than Fields. But we have one pass catcher.
Well, you have Freiermuth and Pickens, so that's two.
If we have two pass catching wide receivers, we don't have a second wide receiver. And man, at this point,
no Devontae Adams for you.
I know. At this point, if we get DeAndre Hopkins, I'll be fine. We need somebody. DeAndre Hopkins, fucking sign Marquez Valdez-Scantling off of free agency. Man, get somebody that is better than a midget that can run a 4.4 40. That's better than... They won't give Roman Wilson a shot. He finally played, but he played like 3 snaps. They're giving a small fucking white boy and Scotty Miller, who had one fantastic year in Tampa Bay, and they're giving Vancouver Jefferson.
Vancouver Jefferson.
Dog. We have 4 wide receiver 3s and 4s. Sorry, 3. I won't count Roman Wilson because he's not shown anything. We have 3 wide receiver 3s and 4s trying to become 1 wide receiver 2. And it's been a revolving door with practice squad receivers. In comes Brandon Johnson. Out he goes. In comes somebody else. Out comes that guy. In comes McCutcheon. Who's next?
Herbert, you know what that sounds like? That sounds like the late 2010s Bengals. It sounds like you have Tyler Boyd as your wide receiver 1, and your wide receiver 2 and 3 is like John Ross and Auden Tate.
Yeah.
That's what you're dealing with right now.
And it sucks because it seems like
it
seems like this bad luck is traveling around all of the AFC North, because the Bengals had it, and then you go to Baltimore, who had a wide receiver 1, and then had like Brashad Perryman and Miles Boykin. Like, who are these guys? And now they have Zay Flowers, and they have Mark Andrews, and they have Isaiah Likely, and they have, who's another receiver that they got over there?
Rashad
Bateman. You know, they have these pass catchers that can do things. And, you know, Cincinnati, they have T. Higgins. They have Jamar Chase. They have that, is it Jermaine Burton that you guys drafted?
The other one.
Yes, he was a healthy scratch last week.
They have Jermaine Burton, who for some reason is a healthy scratch. They
I think
have
there's stuff going on behind the scenes.
You know, these people. And then Cleveland, you know, it's... Hopefully they get it now because they traded Amari Cooper. They have Elijah Moore, Jerry Jeudy, David Njoku, but they don't have a quarterback to throw to them. So if you take Cleveland's receiving core, and you know what? If you take Jerry Jeudy, I'll leave it at just Jerry Jeudy and put him in Pittsburgh, I think we're 6-0.
Hot take.
If you put Jerry Jeudy in Pittsburgh, if you put Rashad Bateman in Pittsburgh, if you put, I'm not even going to count that because T. Higgins and Jamar Chase are wide receiver 1s on any team.
T. Higgins is not wide receiver 1.
If you put T. Higgins in Philadelphia, he's wide receiver 1.
Wait, no, you're joshing me right now, right?
I think he's better than Devontae Smith. But
No. Let me stop you right there.
AJ Brown has not looked the greatest.
He's been out for 2 weeks. Did you not see the game he just had? He's going crazy again. AJ Brown is a top 5 receiver in the NFL, let me tell you. And then Devontae Smith is a top 3 wide receiver too. T. Higgins is not better than Devontae Smith.
Okay, I'll give you T. Higgins is not better than AJ Brown, but I think he's on par with Devontae Smith.
No. I would say the only one you really have an argument with that is like Jalen Waddle maybe for the best wide receiver too. But for Devontae Smith's size, he catches everything that's thrown to him. He's a crisp route runner, and the contested catches he shouldn't be able to make physically, but he does. And he's out there outperforming AJ Brown sometimes.
I'll argue with you here to humor you. I don't think AJ Brown's top 5.
Who do you think? I'd put him like what? Above him, I'd put Tyreek Hill, Justin
Jefferson, Tyreek Hill,
Jamar Chase, maybe
Devontae Adams.
No. AJ Brown moves quicker than he should be able to with the size that he is.
CeeDee Lamb.
No. CeeDee Lamb was also not better than
Mike Evans.
AJ Brown, no.
CeeDee Lamb's looking really fucking good, dude.
AJ Brown makes that Eagles offense. Without him, we suck. AJ Brown he's so quick for someone of his size. He has that DK Metcalf kind of size.
Garrett Wilson.
Like Moss people, right?
Puka Nacua.
I don't know about Garrett Wilson.
He also has the quickness.
He hasn't played.
The yards after catch that he can create is, I mean, it's a spectacle to see.
Deebo Samuel.
If he was on your team, you'd be arguing this.
Diggs.
No, I haven't been listening to the past 5 people you listed off.
George Pickens.
Bro.
No, I think he's borderline 6 or 7.
No, he's top.
Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, and Tyreek Hill. And I think, in my opinion, Devontae Adams.
I mean, it gets close with CeeDee Lamb and Jamar Chase. I think you could put him above either, depending on the day.
I disagree with you on that.
Well, of course you do.
It doesn't matter because Antonio Brown smokes them both.
Antonio Brown doesn't play football anymore.
Doesn't matter because Calvin Austin III smokes them both.
Okay, are we segueing this to like the Eagles game last week?
We've lost the plot. Let's go back to
We've gone off the rails.
So wait, where are we going?
Yeah, Eagles Browns last
Eagles
week.
Browns. Okay, so Eagles Browns.
And that was enough of that game. Let's move on to Cincinnati. Just kidding.
Not it was kind of a weird game by the Eagles. Saquon Barkley could not get going. He had 18 carries for 47 yards.
Yeah, but
It
he's
was weird.
having that like odd and even thing.
Yeah. I was expecting more out of him coming out of the bye week, right? There were some good things though in here, right? So we got the win, 20-16. Up against the Browns. So it's like, take that as you will. The first game, Jalen Hurts has not had a turnover since like the middle of last season. So that is a W,
Were you
in my
eating
opinion.
cat shit, bro? Get the fuck out of here.
No, I'm not. What are you talking
Sunshine,
about?
Sunshine, go. Ugh.
Jalen Hurts threw for 264 yards, had 2 passing touchdowns, and also
I
had
gotta take care of
33
something.
yards on the ground. All right. But then we had Dallas Goedert go down early in the game. That hit our offense pretty bad because he's been playing lights out, honestly. But having AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Lane Johnson all back really did this offense good. We did lose Jordan Mailata, our left tackle, which is unfortunate. He has a hamstring injury and will be like a week to week kind of thing. But nah.
Sorry
I
about
wish
that. My
Herbert was here
dog
right
was
now.
eating
Okay.
cat shit.
Nice. So
Yeah.
as I was saying, AJ Brown 6 receptions, 116 yards, and 1 touchdown. Also includes the game sealing.
It's
reception
against
on
Cleveland.
that was also his first game back from injury. All right, let's also put that out there. Devontae Smith also had 3 receptions for 64 yards
Metcalf
and a
is better.
touchdown. Went absolute crazy. Both of our receivers. I think when Jalen Hurts has thrown a touchdown to AJ Brown and Devontae Smith in the same game, we're 8-0. There you go. There's your LeBron stat of the day. Grant Calcaterra, our backup tight end, really stepped in nice when Dallas Goedert went down early. Had 4 receptions for 67 yards. Really good yards after catch there. And then our defense looked all right. It was more that the Browns' offense just kind of sucked, which we kind of expected going into this. But I'll shout out the young guys, Quinyon Mitchell, and Cooper DeJean, and Nolan Smith, all had pretty great games for being so young. Quinyon Mitchell's looking really good. Bryce Huff finally had a good game. And yeah, also shout out, we had Darius Slay go down with an injury, and then we had Isaiah Rogers, our backup corner, outside corner, also go down with an injury. So we had Keely Ringo in at outside corner. But shout out
That's a
Keely
name I've not heard in a
Ringo.
minute.
God, that
Shout
just
out
threw
Keely
me
Ringo for
PTSD.
stepping in. The first play he's in absolutely lays out like a Browns running back and didn't allow a single catch after that, I don't think. So great job by the backups for stepping in when the injuries kind of hit us again. But yeah, Nick Sirianni is just kind of a I don't know even how to describe him at this point, man. It's like he was yelling at fans after the game. I'm like, what are you doing here, man?
It's just Nick
Like,
Sirianni core.
It's Nick Sirianni, and it's like I don't know what you're doing. But yeah, we had a few bad drives here and there. It should have been more of a blowout than it was. I don't know why we made it. Our linebackers kind of dropped the ball in the middle of the field. Our corners were kind of getting burnt a little bit at the end, and our offense should have been more efficient. What has been happening for this whole season, basically. But it was against the Browns, so we got the W. Yeah. So Nick Sirianni shaved his head. There you go. So he's a brand new coach, same old Eagles team. But I was gonna mention something else. I forget what it was. Uh, yeah. Saquon Barkley didn't have a great game. I feel like that played into a lot of our offensive struggles. We just couldn't get the run game going. But yeah, we got the W, and we're going into New York next week, and so hopefully we can start off division play 1-0. But it's the Eagles, so you never know. That's my take on the Eagles game. And
Alrighty.
AJ Brown is the top 5 receiver.
Cincinnati went to New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they did.
I will admit, they did do that. I will admit. So again, I have not watched a ton of football this year. I've just had different things going on, and I just haven't always been tuned in when, the teams haven't looked as hot. Admittedly, call it taking care of your mental health, if you will. But I didn't watch a ton of that game. But I did have a couple takeaways from it. And from what I had seen, shout out again to the defense. They needed a game like that in the worst way possible. Like, the Bengals defense has been the worst in the NFL over the first 5 weeks of the season. They needed a game like that when you're playing a bad offense like the Giants have. And the fact that they were able to go out there and hold them to 7 was great. Especially because I don't know if you guys saw this at the end of that game, but the craziest stat to me was that snapped the longest streak in the NFL of games that defenses had allowed 10-plus points in consecutive games. The Bengals defense had allowed 10-plus points in 75 consecutive games up to that point.
Wow.
Jeez.
Which shocked me, especially considering the fact that the Bengals defense had not been elite over the last few years. Now, don't get me wrong. Before the Bengals started going back to the playoffs and stuff, the Bengals defense was absolutely horrendous. Absolutely terrible for a long time. And the last couple of years, the defense had been good, not great, in the sense that, they were pretty solid and have solid players, and they're usually going to hold a team to, 21, 24 points. And the offense is probably going to manage to put up about 27 and win, especially in the playoff games. Bengals offense hasn't been super great in the playoffs, but they would be able to get clutch plays, and the defense would do enough to get by. So that's why I think that's a big part of why the Bengals were able to make deep playoff runs for a bit. So seeing that stat where they had the longest streak of 10-plus points given up every single game for 75 games in the NFL was shocking to me. So shout out to the defense for being able to, kind of buck that trend and snap that streak on Sunday. That said, the Bengals offense has been the one bright spot in the NFL this year, or in their season so far this year. Joe Burrow, I think honestly has been having his potentially best start to a season up to this point. Especially considering the fact that he doesn't have Tyler Boyd on the team anymore, and he's putting up some crazy numbers. He's second in the league in touchdowns. I don't know where he's at in yards right now, but there was a handful of stats that he was top 3, top 4 in all of them. So he's been playing really well. It's just they haven't been able to get wins. And the defense, again, not good. They were able to get it done when they needed to, but kind of like what you were saying, Gavin, about the Eagles, they should have been up by more points. There were plenty of times that they, were in prime scoring position. Hell, I think there was one point in the game that I tuned back in, and I think they scored a touchdown to go up by 2 scores, if I remember correctly. And play was called back due to a penalty. I don't remember exactly what penalty it was. And then they go for a field goal, and I think they missed, if I remember right. So it's just like, that's kind of been how this season has been. I don't 100% remember if they missed the field goal or if they made it. They might have made the field goal, but either way, it's just been, they leave points on the board. Defense hadn't been good. And it's just, they should have won that game by more points. Shout out to Joe Burrow for the longest rush of his career. That rushing touchdown he did was the longest he's ever scored. That was awesome.
That was pretty good.
But
he was pretty fired up after that.
Fake aura.
You should be. You run for
Aura,
47-yard touchdown.
Cornball.
You should be fired up after that.
I'm sorry, bro. Joe
Fuck
Burrow
off.
clears both of your quarterbacks, Aura. Both your quarterbacks have no.
No, Joe Burrow, cornball. Fields clears with aura, bro.
No,
Fields
no, no, no,
aura.
no.
No. Fields
In
aura
terms-
is fucking sky high.
He's an Ohio State quarterback, all right? Calm down.
He's a Georgia quarterback. Fields aura is
Uh-huh.
insane.
If I had to rank our quarterbacks
Sure.
aura, I would go Russell Wilson at the bottom by like 50 auras, and then I'd go Justin Fields, Joe Burrow, and then Jalen Hurts just has that effortless aura, right?
Jalen
He's
Hurts
just
is
in
a
there, he's
cornball.
getting business done. Cornball, what do you?
Look, does your quarterback have this aura?
That's what I was gonna mention, is that Jalen Hurts actually celebrated touchdowns this past week, which
Does your quarterback have this?
Does your quarterback have this aura?
He's a hockey player.
Does your quarterback have this aura?
Does your quarterback have Aurora? Where is he?
Aurora. We
Aurora.
lost the plot again. All right,
Jalen Hurts.
week.
But I was just gonna say, shout out to the Bengals getting it done.
No.
Also, shout out on Yoshi Vash. He's looking really great as a wide receiver 3. Probably going to end up needing to be wide receiver 2 because we probably won't be able to keep T. Higgins. But yeah, he's looking really good. I love Yoshi Vash. So, shout out.
That's Aurora.
Aurora!
She looks so big now.
That's because she is big.
Mm.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
my
she didn't like that.
Yeah, she's got fleas on her back, so if you get near it, she meows.
Take them off then.
Well, I'm getting her flea medicine on Friday.
No, pick them off individually.
Pick
right
your
now.
fleas off, Rory.
It's going crazy.
Roshi mad.
Audio only listeners might be very confused right now. What's happening?
God, dude. That is a
Aurora has
chunk of
taken
her
the screen
fur
and she is very angry.
with
Oh my
a bunch
goodness.
of black specks on it.
Probably fleas.
That's
I'm sorry.
disgusting.
Kitty. I'll get you some flea medicine and we'll get this taken care of.
All right, let's step in to the
Week 7.
predictions for Week 7 NFL football.
Thursday nights, we have Denver going to New Orleans.
What a Thursday night game that is.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to watching that at all.
I'm not either.
That is
Patrick Surtain is out.
That's the most Thursday night game of all games.
And not only is Patrick Surtain out, Chris Olave is out, and so is Raheed Shaheed.
Yep.
So this
On
truly...
that note, I'm taking the Broncos because the Saints team has not looked good. Granted, the Broncos team has also not looked good. They both have looked bad. But without Raheed Shaheed and without Chris Olave, what do you have? You have Alvin Kamara? You're just going to run it every single play? You're going to become Michigan. You're going to become very predictable at that point.
Yeah, I think I'll take New Orleans.
Hey, give me Bo Nix. Give me Bo Nix.
No, don't give me Bo Nix.
For a couple pass touchdowns. Maybe we'll see what
This
happens.
is Bo Nix hate culture. We hate Bo Nix here.
I don't hate Bo Nix.
I hate Bo Nix.
Give me Broncos 5-2.
5-2. God, that would be the freaking. Watch this be like the game of the year, like 57-50 or something like that.
Spencer Rattler and Bo Nix.
Just absolute no-name wide receiver and just killing it.
I forgot it was Spencer Rattler. Actually, I did forget.
Actually, now I'm taking the Broncos by 50. I really don't like Spencer Rattler. If you played at Oklahoma, I hate you.
Wow.
No, we already kind of discussed the Jag. Wait, no, we didn't. We discussed the Jags game from last week, but now we have Jags Patriots, an even worse game, maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. My take's Patriots in this one.
I could see it, but it's in London, the Jaguars. I don't. I I can't do this forever, but I still believe in Trevor Lawrence. So I'm gonna be picking the Jags for this. I think you just get out
Yeah.
at quarterback at this point.
Well, you know what? This game is what the British get for colonization. So it only makes sense for the Patriots to win in England.
Oh
Give me
my
New
god.
England.
Yeah, give me New England.
Give me Trevor Lawrence over Drake May. I feel like
You
Drake
want
May's
New England,
inexperienced
right?
and moving over the pond.
Right, you
will
want me to pick New England?
get him. Rory.
Also, Herbert, I just want to say, no offense to you and the Steelers for this week, but this next game should be Sunday Night Football, in my opinion.
Wait, what's the next game?
Seattle and
Are we-
Atlanta.
Lions at Vikings.
Okay, yeah, we're looking. Me and Offenbach are looking at the same thing.
Oh,
You're not.
no, I'm not.
You always go in a different order than what I see.
No, I'm jumping to Seattle and Atlanta. I'm going off my screen.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Atlanta.
So
I'm just saying, Lions there should be Sunday Night Football.
3-3,
That's all.
Seattle and Atlanta. The Seattle Seahawks go to 4-2 Atlanta. I'm taking Atlanta, who's been firing on all cylinders so far.
I think that should be a good game. I'm also gonna take Atlanta just because the Seahawks have obviously been in a pretty bad
Alright,
skid
Maria,
ever
I'll
since
put
their
you down.
undefeated start.
Yeah, I agree. I
So-
think this is the game that probably puts DK Metcalf trades rumors not to rest, but brings them up.
Raises them from the dead.
Yeah. Tennessee travels to Buffalo. Give me Buffalo.
Wait, we didn't have Offenbacher's pick.
This one is a little bit up in the air, and I kind of want to pick old Kirko Chains at 1 o'clock, but it only makes sense for NFC South teams to finish like around 500. So
I just
it
put
feels
you down.
spiritually right that the Falcons are due for a loss. So I'll take the Seahawks.
I just
That's
put you
a
on
fair-
the ground. Roy, you gotta be on the ground, sweetheart.
Again, this is casual, non-ball knower version of Offenbacher in here.
If you think about it,
Who's
does
going
anyone really know
purely
ball?
based on vibes.
At
Purely
the end
based
of
on
the day,
We're all just here.
we're all just here.
This is all vibes.
Tennessee travels to Buffalo. Give me Buffalo.
Yeah, Tennessee's bad. Buffalo has Amari
Yep.
Cooper now. Yeah, Josh Allen has been playing like the best quarterback in the league right now. Give me Buffalo.
Buffalo all the way this time. I cannot wait to see what Will Levis pictures we get out of this one.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Cincinnati travels to Cleveland.
The stoppable force meets the movable object.
Yes.
This game's going to be terrible. Either the Bengals are going to floor the Browns, or it's going to be the worst game of football in human history.
I think the Browns lose badly. I think Joe Burrow is pissed about his track record against the Browns, and I think Deshaun Watson sucks bad balls. So give me give me the Bengals.
I'm going to take the Bengals in this game, admittedly biased, but I feel like this is that point where, from what I've seen with the Bengals, they seem like they're pretty fired up about where they're at right now, and I think they realize their backs are against the wall. This is an opponent that's kind of bullied you, and they're extremely vulnerable. You need to win this game, and I think they know that. So I'm going to say the Bengals win this. It's going to be ugly. It's not going to be fun, but the Bengals will win, and it's going to give me false hope for about 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I'm picking Cleveland for
Figures.
one sole reason.
What's the
Burrow
sole
can't win in
reason?
Cleveland.
Nick Chubb returning.
Is he back this week?
Yep.
He
Nick
is.
Chubb gets his first start since week 2 of last year.
God damn it, we're going to lose.
Well, I can see how that would be your reasoning for them winning, but he hasn't played in over a year.
You're right, and he
But-
might not be the same since the injury, but I'm banking on it being Nick Chubb, and I think Nick Chubb's going to come out and show people that he's Nick Chubb.
I mean, if you're going to get an opponent to play in your first game, you might as well play the Bengals defense to get warmed back up. So,
There you go.
I'm not the best betting man, but Bengals can't stop anybody.
Bengals
He said,
can't
I'm
stop
not the
it."
best betting man, but
Start speaking in tongues. I'm not the best betting man.
Ole, ole, ole.
Halloween time. Speak of
Next
tongues.
game is Houston going to Green Bay.
This could be a banger.
Good game over here.
It could be very good game. Give me Houston.
Yeah, I'll take the Texans too. It's
I'll
gonna be
take the
close, though.
Texans. Yes. It usually my dad is due for about one Packers meltdown a month at least. I think it's about time.
Yeah, this is a really hard game to choose because I feel like both of these teams are kind of just like so even at this point with like their defensive play, their quarterback play. I mean, if anything, I'll just give CJ Stroud the edge over Jordan Love, and that's why I'll pick the
Yeah.
Texans at this point. Yeah.
That makes sense.
What about you, Herbert?
I picked the Texans.
Oh,
I
you
think
did,
you said
yeah.
Texans.
Never mind.
Oh,
What
sorry.
do
I just saw Pens are up 4-3. Malkin scores number 500.
500.
Damn.
Actually, if you scored 500,
Crazy.
you guys would be up. You guys would be up 500.
There's
points,
only
so.
two duos in NHL history to each score 500 goals. First one is Jari Kurri and Wayne Gretzky, and number 2 is Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin.
First one is Tristan Jarry and
Tristan Jarry and Wayne Gretzky.
And Ben Roethlisberger. There you go. Okay, well then. What's the next game on your screen?
Miami goes to Indy.
Give me Indy because Anthony Richardson will be coming back, and Miami has just been the husk of a football team since Tua's went down.
I was gonna say, is there any saying on when Tua's supposed to be back?
They said that he'll be back this season.
Yes.
Other than that, I don't know.
So it's
Mike McDaniel has no timetable, but he said sometime this season he expects Tua to play.
Tyler Huntley and Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, give me the Colts.
Yeah, give me the
Anthony
Colts.
Richardson.
Yup.
We're all in agreement. Unanimous. It must happen.
Dog, there are
No team.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 quarterbacks that have more than 10 touchdowns this season. One of them is being benched for a quarterback that hasn't played. Following names: 17 touchdowns by Baker Mayfield, 13 by Josh Allen, 13 by Joe Burrow, 12 by Lamar Jackson, 12 by Jordan Love, 11 by Sam Darnold, 10 by Jaden Daniels, 10 by Justin Fields, and 10 by C.J. Stroud.
So is this including rushing touchdowns then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm retroactively changing my pick to the Packers from the Texans game because I forgot the Texans don't have Nico Collins anymore. So I'm going to go Packers for that.
They still have Stephon Diggs.
Okay, washed.
And Joe Mixon.
Isn't Joe Mixon questionable?
Oh, I have no idea. I heard he's supposed
I
to be
haven't checked
returning
injury
this
status
week.
on anything, dog.
I'm changing the vibes. I want Packers over that game, so I'll go Packers.
Next game is the Detroit goes to Minnesota.
Now this is the
game
game
gets
of the
fired up.
week. This is the game of the week.
We.
I'm going to pick. It's kind of like, no, I can't say that because the Lions have been beaten. But the Lions just look so confident as a football team right now. It's hard to pick against them. But I think it's going to be a good game. I think Sam Darnold has been playing pretty good football for the Vikings. But I'm taking the Lions on this one. I think they get outcoached. Minnesota doesn't.
I think J.J. McCarthy makes his long-awaited season debut.
Wait a minute. What do he can't do that?
I'm also picking Detroit.
Yeah.
Give me the Detroit Lions, baby. That's all.
Next game, the last
Shout
1
out
o'clock
Aiden
game.
Hutchinson. That was rough.
Yeah, that injury looked very bad.
Mm-hmm.
Last 1 o'clock game, Philadelphia travels to New York. Boston Scott is not on this roster.
The Boston Killer is gone. I mean, not the Boston Killer. The
Giant
Boston Killer.
The
Giant
Giant
Killer.
Killers are gone.
But with that being said, I think Saquon has a revenge game. Give me the Eagles.
This will be Saquon's first time back in MetLife, so give me Saquon to rush, or at least get 200 total scrimmage yards in this. Maybe a touchdown or two in there.
4 touchdowns, 250 yards.
Yeah, that's wishful thinking. Give me the Eagles, but Malik Neighbors will be back. I don't think it's gonna be too easy for our defense, but I'm still taking the Eagles.
Give me the Giants.
I hate you.
No, if the Bengals can go into MetLife and beat the Giants, the Eagles can go into MetLife and beat the Giants.
Hopefully.
I don't know.
What do we? All right, what's the next?
Give me probably the worst game of the week. The Raiders travel to the Rams.
Rams.
Yeah. Give me the Rams.
Raiders vibes are completely off after the Devontae Adams trade.
Yeah, they got nobody now.
Aiden O'Connell.
That's gonna be not good.
Snooze fest. Go ahead and shut your eyes during this game. Take a nap. Then you can watch Sunday night game.
Me. It's a Sunday night game.
You have another game and another window going on, so.
The other 4:05 game is Carolina going to Washington. Washington handily, man.
Yeah, give me with the way Jaden Daniels has been playing and the way Carolina has been playing in general. Yeah, give me Washington.
Go Commies.
I won't take it that far.
The last 4:00 game, Kansas City goes to San Francisco. Man, there is a good chance that Kansas City does not drop another game the rest of the year.
Yeah, give me Kansas City. The way that San Francisco has been injured to hell and back, and the way Kansas City's defense has been playing, I just can't pick against the Chiefs, man.
Yeah, they would have to lose Patrick Mahomes for them to lose games. Give me Kansas City.
Bearcats homecoming week. Travis Kelce gets his first touchdown.
Ever.
His first rushing touchdown.
A 500 injured 49ers team cannot beat the Chiefs and the refs. So.
And the Sunday night game, the game I will be attending, New York travels to Pittsburgh for Sunday night.
It's pretty cool that you'll be attending that. That'll be cool. What's your record at Steelers games?
What was the last game I went to? I lost.
Okay.
It was against the Jags.
Either way,
it's got to be better than my record.
But I'm undefeated in Sunday night games.
Either way.
As I've only been to one Sunday night game, and it was the first one I went to. We beat the Ravens.
Russell Wilson.
It's this. No, I think that was a 4:00 game. But they are wearing their throwback unis, and I don't think Pittsburgh has ever lost in those.
Russell Wilson's first game as a Steeler.
Devlin Duck Hodges won in those jerseys. Mason Rudolph won in those jerseys.
Versus Devontae Adams' first game as a Jet. I'm taking the New York Jets.
Wrong answer, buddy.
I feel like you might be a little biased here. I don't know. Taking a look at your room, you might be a Pittsburgh fan. I'm not sure.
Devontae Adams immediately goes for a hat trick. Russell Wilson cannot play football. Yet the Aaron Rodgers throws 4 pick sixes. Steelers.
Really? Okay. Robert Saleh not being there is it's an interesting dynamic that they probably have going on there, but Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers is just like a connection.
Last time we played Devontae Adams, we locked him down.
What was
the
last time you played Devontae Adams?
Last year.
Last year?
Well, technically last week, but he was hurt.
He is coming off an injury. Hamstring injury.
Oh my god. There are 2 Monday night games again.
Oh, okay.
First Monday night game is Baltimore at Tampa Bay. Give me Tampa Bay. Give me Baker Mayfield coming out there and slinging it on the Baltimore defense like he used to in Cleveland.
That is going to be a good game. My gut's telling me the Ravens.
I would love that, but give me the Ravens. Yeah.
Wrong answer. You guys have wrong answers. And
But
the
we'll have
last Monday night game, the Chargers go to Arizona.
I'm taking Arizona. I'm a Kyler Murray truther, man.
Wrong
And I think
answer,
it's about time-
Pipsqueak.
I think it's about time they get back. At this
Give
point.
me the Chargers.
Is Jim
Freaking Cards.
Harbaugh still on the injury list?
I don't think so.
That was so weird.
Man, I really don't know what's taking this game. I'll take the Cardinals. They got destroyed last week by Green Bay.
But that's Green Bay. This is LA.
Yeah.
When's the last time Marvin Harrison's beat Jim Harbaugh?
Is Marvin Harrison even playing?
Yes.
Yes. Not Junior.
'Cause he was
the
hurt
first
last
one.
time.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
I don't know. I'll take the Cardinals because they're at home.
Oh my God. Wrong answer.
Cardinals.
Chargers are at 3-2. They can't
You
get
just-
that far ahead of 500.
You just have a
Yeah, I'll
Justin
take the
Herbert
Cardinals.
jersey. You have a Justin Herbert jersey, so that's why you want the Chargers to win.
And that's all but wraps us up for
Ah.
the pod.
Are we agreeing game of the week? Game of the week.
for
Lions
NFL?
Vikings. Lions Vikings.
Steelers Jets?
Are we gonna have to choose three? And
For
then
me, it's
pick
got to be
one
Lions
that
Vikings.
nominated?
I think
Actually,
it's
you know
Lions.
what? I kind of like Ravens Buccaneers
That's also a good one.
that's a really good game.
Nah, give me Lions Vikings. Division, one loss between the two teams. Give me
I'll
Lions,
also say
Vikings.
Lions Vikings. So you have to make it unanimous here, Jacob. That's at least be in your top three.
You know what? The fact of the matter is, I did say Lions Vikings initially, and I said that should be Sunday night football, and I still stand by that, so I'll agree with it in the end. But Ravens Buccaneers should be a banger.
Sabres go up 5-4 with 7 left.
Should be a good. Oh, sorry, Herbert. Should be a good weekend of football though.
I agree.
We've seen
Open.
here.
Good luck to all with your rooting interests.
Oh my God! Brian Rust almost put it in the back of the net.
Except if your rooting interests conflict with mine, then bad luck to you.
Trevor Bauer.
Hey, Herbert, I just realized I did predict all AFC North teams to win this week, except the Browns because they also play against the AFC North.
All the important AFC North teams.
All right, that all but does it for this episode. So, we'll see you next week. No, we won't see you next week.
We won't?
No, I have another tattoo appointment.
Okay.
Session 2. Unless you guys want to do like Tuesday or Thursday.
I might be up for that. I will not be able to do Wednesday in 2 weeks, so if we have to do some Tuesday, Thursday action over the next couple weeks, that works for me.
Sounds like we
Actually,
might
I
have
can't
to.
do Thursday in 2 weeks, but
All right. Make it Tuesday.
Okay, that works.
we're calling it audible. We're calling it
Well,
audible.
I don't know if I can do Tuesday next week. That's my mom's birthday.
Thursday next week, and then Tuesday the week after.
That works. All right, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.